shut up. And RC, I want you to give me one team in the National Football League that needs to put up or shut up.
It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have to find a way to get a franchise quarterback. Since Big Ben was down the last stretch of his career, they've been from Duck Hodges to Mason Rudolph to Kenny Pickett. Last year, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson in that quarterback carousel. They need to find a guy. And now what are we doing? We're sitting around waiting for breadcrumbs from Aaron Rodgers. If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to get this right. So if Shedeur Sanders starts to fall, will Omar Khan, the general manager, move up and make the big play? Even if you have Aaron Rodgers in the building, are you going to draft another guy to develop behind him? The Pittsburgh Steelers have to find a way to get out of quarterback purgatory, because not only are they in quarterback purgatory, they can't win a freaking playoff game.
Yates, you have the Steelers drafting Jackson Dart at 21 in your most recent mock draft. Mel Kiper, whose mock is out today, you do not. You have them taking the defensive tackle Derek Harmon from Oregon. So, Mel, what are you looking at as far as the Steelers' quarterback plan?
I think they would see too much Kenny Pickett with Jackson Dart. Not enough greatness potential there. But Shedeur is the interesting one, because if he gets into that middle portion of round one, say, oh, we can wait it out. We'll wait till he falls in our lap. Well, somebody else going to go up and get him ahead of you. So it'll be interesting if he gets past New Orleans. I think when you look at where we are right now with the Steelers, we've gone 21 years since they've had a losing season, which was 03. But they've gone, 9 years since winning a playoff game. So it's all about quarterback play. Terry Bradshaw, Ben Roethlisberger, and then what else? I thought Justin Fields was going to be their guy. I did not think they'd let Justin Fields leave the building. He wanted to be in the same offense 2 straight years. He's not afforded that opportunity. It left me scratching my head. I got fewer hairs up there now on this, talk about year to year losing hair after hair. But I think when you look at the Steelers, they have to be aggressive, because if Shedeur gets into the middle of the first round, I do believe you could see maybe the Giants or somebody else go up and get him ahead of them. So it'll be interesting to see if they wait to see if he falls in their lap, or they make a move to get Shedeur Sanders.
Field, it's worth a reminder to everybody that the Steelers traded away their second-round pick to get DK Metcalf, so they don't have as much ammunition to make a trade as some other teams might. How do you see it, Field?
It's a great point right there by you, Greeny. They no longer have that pick number 52 that belongs to Seattle. There is no team in the first round that I like as a fit more for Shedeur Sanders than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Well, because obviously the Steelers do need a quarterback. Even if Aaron Rodgers signs tomorrow, he's going to be 42 in early December. You have to think about the future. But also, a part of drafting Shedeur Sanders that we can't ignore is there are some people that are daunted by everything, the charisma that comes with Shedeur Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, the bright lights that have been around him for the entirety of his football career. You know who's not going to be? It's Mike Tomlin. You know Shedeur Sanders is going to immediately respect the minute he walks into that facility is Mike Tomlin, a proven winner, a Super Bowl winning head coach, 18 straight seasons without a losing record as a head coach. The Steelers got to find a way to get back from good to great. RC knows the standard is not making the playoffs. The standard is winning meaningful playoff games and eventually a 7th Lombardi trophy. It would require some patience, perhaps the kind of patience that makes you sweat in the draft room waiting until pick number 21. But if he gets there and I'm Pittsburgh, that to me is the pick you're making.
Mel, real quick.
Real quick. While Tom Brady didn't have the strongest arm, he was in New England. He had great success. So this notion where you can't win in Pittsburgh if you're Shedeur Sanders with an average arm or slightly above average arm, whatever you want to call it, Tom Brady proved that wrong. But I will say that's the factor that I think goes in the favor of the Saints is the dome. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Shedeur there, not ideal, but like I say, Brady did win in New England.
I get it. We'll come back to that as we continue. We've got to take a quick break here. We're getting so much from the draft. 2 weeks.
You want somebody that doesn't flinch in big spots, clutch quarterback. What's he lacking? I go to Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning, right? Tom Brady, okay? Think about Kurt Warner, Drew Brees, Joe Montana. What did they all do? They won from the pocket. They didn't have the greatest arms. They weren't the most mobile quarterbacks. But all those areas I checked, all those boxes were checked, are critical. Everybody wants that. You want toughness. You want accuracy, precise passing, decision-making. That's what everybody screams about after Ryan knows that, RC knows that on Monday. What are you talking about? Bad decision. Inaccurate throw. Didn't stand tough in that, hang tough in the pocket, right? Didn't sense things. Wasn't smart enough. Didn't have the instincts. Shedeur has all that.
That's the point. And yet the things he doesn't have, again, not as an evaluator, which I am not, but he doesn't have, he's not huge. Yep. He's not incredibly fast. He doesn't have all those sort of things. He doesn't have the cannon for an arm. Your buddy Dan Orlovsky and mine said it's the hardest evaluation he's had to make on a quarterback since he's been doing this. I mean, 9 is still pretty high, but it's not as high as 3. Where are you on Shedeur?
But I think Shedeur going 9 is, in Mel's mock draft, is it kind of signifies what Dan is saying, right? You see all those things that Mel said, right? You see the accuracy, you see the toughness. He played behind some makeshift offensive lines. He was the guy that could put the football wherever you wanted to put it. To me, Shedeur Sanders walks into the league day one and is a good starting quarterback in the NFL because of all those reasons. All of those things that you feel like you have to teach a quarterback, Shedeur Sanders already has. But the reason that he may fall to 9 is because he doesn't have a lot of those things that you can't teach. He doesn't have the cannon arm. He doesn't have the height. He doesn't have this running ability that we've all fell in love with from the quarterback position. But if you bring a quarterback in and you say, I want him to be on time, Shedeur Sanders is that. I want him to be cute that well early as well. And so whatever team gets him, gets a quarterback that they can plug and play early on this season.
Field.
Greeny, I think you have to evolve with the times right now. And all the references that Mel made, those are all great players. But who was the one that was like the most recent quarterback? Tom Brady, who I guess retired a few years ago. But Johnny Unitas retired like, what, 60 years ago? Like, we are in a different era of quarterback play. However you want to stack the quarterbacks at the very top of the NFL, your first 5 are going to include some order of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, players of that archetype. Yes, we do have guys like Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins, who was not successful last year, Matthew Stafford. But the reality is 20 to 25 of today's top NFL starting quarterbacks in the league are guys who can win with their mobility as well. There's the answer. Thank you, Hembo. Nearly 60 years ago, 1973, for Johnny Unitas. Shedeur has everything that Mel mentioned. The question I have will continue to be, can he play urgently enough in the pocket? He took the most sacks in all the FBS last season. That's an offensive line stat, but it's also a quarterback stat. Can he get himself out of trouble? And the reality is, if he goes high to the Giants or the Saints, offensive line play, not great. This is not going to the Lions, Mel, where they had that 5 layers of protection for Jared Goff to thrive behind.
Oh, Mel is mad.
Yeah, I need 10 minutes to unpack all this, not a minute that I have or 50 seconds. But I think, Field, you're showing your youth, pal, because guess what? Tom Brady was 44 years of age, young Fielding, when he won a Super Bowl, and he did it from the pocket. For Shedeur Sanders, one thing was overlooked at that pro day. Forget about throwing the ball at the pro day. What was overlooked was the professionalism, the care about his teammates, and what a professional he will be right away. He was talking about, hey, my guys are running routes. I'm just throwing the football. Why do you say I don't throw a fastball all the time? Because I want to make it easier for my receivers. These are the subtle things. These are the intangibles that Shedeur has. People are worried about how he threw the ball at the pro day. Who the hell cares? Okay, it's a pro day. Okay, it doesn't matter. Peyton Manning had a horrible pro day. And I heard the same things about Peyton Manning I'm hearing about Shedeur. When Peyton Manning had his pro day, I heard if his name was Peyton Jones, it'd be a 3rd-round pick. How'd that turn out? I heard the same things about Shedeur. If his name was Shedeur Jones, it'd be a 3rd-round pick. It's all BS.
Well, you know what? Daniel Jones should have been a 3rd-round pick since we're sticking with the Joneses, Mel. Get hype, Mel.
Hey, Daniel Jones beat Kirk Cousins on the road in a playoff game and got a big contract.
Now we got it going. Come
on. Daniel Jones was no bust.
A major expectation has just emerged about the near future of the Philadelphia Eagles. Adam Schefter, the renowned ESPN journalist, made a bold guarantee on his podcast, stating that the team will make 1 or even 2 major trades in the upcoming NFL draft. And this could change the course of the franchise in the coming years. If you're an Eagles fan or are following the draft movement, this video brings all the details of what we can expect. Let's understand what this means for the team's future and the implications for the draft. Before we dive into the details of the predicted movements for the draft, it's important to highlight a key factor that could directly influence the Eagles' plans: the depth of their current roster. Despite already having a talented team, the franchise has an impressive number of picks in the upcoming drafts, a total of 20. This means that with so many picks, the team will have to make tough decisions about who will actually make the roster. And this could open the door for trades that reinforce specific areas of the team. The Philadelphia Eagles are holding a large number of picks for the upcoming drafts, which, in itself, creates a complicated situation. It's not possible to keep 20 new players on the roster, considering the team already has a strong and competitive formation. Adam Schefter highlighted that this should open up space for smart moves in the market. He mentioned that, likely, GM Howie Roseman will use these picks to move up in the draft or perhaps even seek veterans in exchange for future picks. This could be a strategic move to strengthen the roster without losing valuable assets in the process. Now I want to know from you, Eagles fan. In your opinion, what would be the best move for the team in this draft? Do you think Philadelphia should invest in more promising young players, or would it be smarter to trade these picks for veterans to add immediate strength to the roster? Leave your comment below and share your view on the future of the Eagles. We're looking forward to hearing what you think. Now, let's get to the major bombshell that has just dropped and is shaking things up in the NFL behind the scenes. The Philadelphia Eagles are about to make even bolder moves. With Adam Schefter's guarantee, trades are on the radar, and this promises to shake up the balance of this year's draft. Let's break down everything behind the strategy and the impact it could have on the team and the league. The Philadelphia Eagles are about to make major moves in the upcoming draft, and Adam Schefter has assured that at least 1 or 2 trades will happen. With 20 picks scheduled for the next 2 years, the franchise has enormous bargaining power. GM Howie Roseman's strategy seems clear. He will use these picks to move up in the draft and grab players who can make an immediate impact or even seek veteran reinforcements who are key pieces for the team. This shows that the Eagles are not only targeting the present but also the future, with a focus on winning more titles. These trades could have a significant impact, not just for the Philadelphia Eagles, but also for other NFC teams. If the Eagles manage to further strengthen their roster with experienced veterans, it could alter the power balance in the conference. Other teams that were eyeing possible reinforcements may be left behind. Furthermore, this move could change the Eagles' approach to the draft in the coming years, giving them more flexibility to adjust their roster and, perhaps, even win more titles in the near future. Now it's your turn, Eagles fan. Should Philadelphia make these trades to strengthen the roster with veterans, or focus on investing in the future with younger players? What's your opinion on what Howie Roseman should do? Leave your comment below. We're curious to hear how you view this strategic move and what it could mean for the team. So, what do you all think about the moves the Philadelphia Eagles are planning for the draft? Stay tuned for more news about the team and other NFL updates. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any important updates. See you in the next video.